Welcome. Settle in. Perhaps you are lying in bed now, seeking rest, the gentle hush of evening around you. Your body beginning to grow still, your breath soft and slow. Or perhaps you are listening while the world outside is busy, hoping for a moment of quiet. Tonight, allow yourself to drift, far away from the familiar, to a place of ice and silence, to the vast white expanse of the Arctic. For thousands of years, the Inuit people have lived here, in one of Earth's harshest environments, beneath skies thick with cloud, across frozen seas, through endless winters. Their lives shaped by cold, by skill, by ancient rhythms. This is not a world of kings or empires, but a quieter story of survival, of family, of how amid the cold, warmth can still be found, in flame, in tradition, in the simple acts of daily life. And as the hours unfold, I will guide you through their world, Slowly, a journey into myth, into hardship, into joy, and into the deep patience of a people shaped by snow and time. So, imagine yourself now under low gray skies, snow beneath your feet, the wind steady and cold upon your face, and before you, a low dome of snow, glowing faintly from within. Let us step inside, and begin. Chapter 1, Tending the Seal Lamp, Life in an Ice Hut. Segment 1, The Arctic. Night stretches on vast unbroken. The sky above holds no sun, only the faint shimmer of distant stars. Dim behind clouds thick with snow. The wind moves endlessly across the land, a sound without beginning or end, low, constant, patient. It is deep winter here. The long months when the sun does not rise, days and nights blur into one. Cold lies across the land like a heavy cloth, pressing upon the ice, the snow, the sea, and yet life endures. Imagine now, stepping through a narrow opening, into a space both simple and sacred, an igloo, carefully built from blocks of snow, each one cut with practiced hands. Each placed with precision, curved into a dome that holds warmth against the endless cold. The air inside is cold still, but softer than outside. The space glows faintly, golden and dim. At the heart of this place burns a kullik, the seal oil lamp. Its flame is low, steady, yellow dash, white dot. Fed by oil drawn from the fat of seals hunted when the sea was still open. This small flame gives light, warmth, and life itself. Without the kullik, no one would survive this winter. Its tending is constant, a task passed through generations. The wick must be trimmed just so. The oil carefully poured, The soot wiped gently from the stone. The flame must never fail. Around it, life continues. Thick caribou skins line the floor. Clothing hangs from the curved walls. Boots of SEAOSK, heavy parkas. Mittens stitched with sinew. The faint scent of oil lingers in the air, mixed with the musk of fur and the sharp scent of snow melting in stone pots. Outside, the blizzard howls unseen. Temperatures fall to depths that would freeze exposed skin in moments. The land is locked beneath ice, the sea frozen into white fields. The world beyond these walls is as hostile as any on earth. But here, within the small circle of light, life remains. Chores fill the hours, if hours they can be called, in this endless night. Skins are scraped clean. Boots repaired, tools sharpened with stone and bone. The work is quiet, patient, each task done with care. Nothing is wasted. Every scrap of material has purpose. Meals are simple and precious. A strip of dried seal meat, a piece of frozen fish, perhaps a rare bite of fat. Hunger is a familiar presence here. Only skill and preparation keeps it at bay. Children play softly, wrapped in thick garments sewn by mothers and grandmothers. Their laughter, when it comes, is muffled beneath fur-lined hoods. Nearby elders speak in low tones, sharing stories of the old hunts, of spirits in the ice and sky, of ancestors long gone. These are not idle tales. They teach, they bind the family. They shape the memory of a people. Words pass from elder to child, from parent to son or daughter. Through the long nights of winter, sleep comes lightly. Vigilance is part of life here. The ice may shift, a predator may roam, the wind may change. Yet through it all, the culloch burns, its flame steady, ... a fragile line between life and the cold beyond. And so the rhythm of life continues ... shaped by cold ... sustained by flame. In this world of ice, time moves slowly. There's no rush, no haste. The hours pass in quiet labor, in the soft murmur of voices ... in the flickering light of the culloch. Outside, the eagle of the storm may rage for days. Snow driven by the wind reshapes the land, erasing old paths, drifting against the walls. But within, the family remains together, bound not only by necessity, but by love, by memory ... by shared endurance. The children, though young, are taught the old ways early. They watch as their elders tend the lamp, sew garments ... prepare tools. They listen to the stories, words shaped by countless winters past, and slowly they learn. The knowledge of survival is not written. It lives in hands and voices ... passed from one generation to the next. The clothing worn here is a marvel of craft. Each parka is sewn from skins chosen for warmth and durability. Seams are made watertight with sinew thread. Boots are lined with soft fur, designed to keep feet dry even when walking upon frozen sea ice. Every piece is vital. In this land, poorly made clothing can mean death. The tools, too, are shaped by ancient knowledge. Harpoons tipped with bone or ivory, scrapers of stone, sleds of driftwood bound with rawhide. The materials are scarce, the craftsmanship precise. When the storm eases and the faint light of dawn, a pale blue glow creeps across the sky. The family prepares for the hunt. Sled dogs are harnessed. The hunters dress in layers of fur and hide. Weapons are checked, sleds loaded with supplies. The ice fields beckon, vast, white, silent. The hunt is not mere sport. It is life. Each seal caught, each fish drawn from beneath the ice brings hope, food for the family, oil for the lamp, skins for clothing. Success means warmth and survival, failure, hunger and hardship. Yet even in such harshness, there is joy. The return of a successful hunter is met with smiles ... with gratitude. Around the culloch, stories of the hunt are shared, small victories celebrated in the dim light. Children listen wide-eyed, learning not only the skills of the chase, but the spirit behind it. And so through patience, through craft ... through deep respect for the land and its creatures, life endures here. The flame burns on, the family gathers. The rhythms of the Arctic night continue. As you rest now, perhaps you too can feel that slow rhythm. The quiet heartbeat of life amid the cold, the warmth of tradition ... The enduring light of the culloch against the endless dark. Chapter 2: The Franklin Expedition. a frozen disaster. Now, let us shift our gaze from the quiet warmth of an Inuit igloo to a different kind of Arctic journey, one marked by pride, tragedy. It is the year 1845. In Britain, a great expedition is being prepared. Two ships, HMs Erebus and Terror, their hulls reinforced for ice, their stores packed with provisions. Their mission, to discover the fabled Northwest Passage, a sea route through the Arctic connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. Leading this voyage is Sir John Franklin, a veteran naval officer, now in his late 50s. He has sailed Arctic waters before, though years have passed since those journeys. His reputation is strong, his name respected. For Britain, this expedition is a matter of national pride and scientific curiosity. The unknown spaces on the maps of the far north must be filled. The mysteries of the Arctic must be solved. The two ships are marvels of the age, fitted with steam engines, stocked with preserved foods, armed with cannon. On board are 129 officers and men, well-trained and optimistic. Among their supplies, years' worth of tinned meats, barrels of biscuits, casks of rum, books, instruments. Fine china, a floating piece of empire, carried into the ice. As the ship set sail from England, spirits are high. In London's newspapers, Franklin is hailed as a hero. The Northwest Passage, many believe, will soon be conquered. The world will know Britain's power, even in the frozen reaches of the North. But the Arctic, is not so easily tamed. The summer of 1845 brings the ships westward, across the Atlantic, through the ice-choked waters of Baffin Bay, toward Lancaster Sound. For a time, progress is steady. They anchor briefly near Disco Island, taking on fresh supplies and coal. There, they are seen by whalers, the last Europeans who would lay eyes upon the expedition alive. Then, the ships vanish into the ice. The Arctic summer is short. As the sun dips lower, the ice begins to form again. Vast floes drift and grind. Sealing channels shut. The Erebus and Terror become trapped, frozen in place. Their iron hulls groan beneath the pressure. Masts stand silent beneath pale skies. At first, there is little panic. British naval discipline holds. The men follow routines. Log entries, shipboard duties. In the cabins, officers dine in full uniform, silverware gleaming. Oil lamps flickering against the cold. Outside, the temperature falls and falls. Winter descends, a cold deeper than any had imagined. Darkness lasts for months. The ice presses harder against the ships. Rations are consumed slowly, carefully. Yet unseen troubles creep in. The tinned food so proudly supplied by British manufacturers is flawed. Many cans improperly sealed, their contents spoiling. Lead from the solder leaches into the food and water, poisoning the men, clouding minds, weakening bodies. Sickness spreads. Joints ache, vision dims, tempers fray. The Arctic's endless night weighs upon them. Isolation settles into every mind. Outside, Inuit hunters pass through the white wastes, observing the trapped ships from a distance. To them, these foreign vessels are strange, great beasts of iron and wood, now helpless in the ice. The Inuit know this land, its dangers, its moods. They would never have sailed here so late in the season. For the British sailors, though, hope remains. They believe the summer thaw will free them. They plan. They wait, But the thaw never comes. As the months pass, ice thickens, morale thins. Franklin himself, the expedition's leader, grows ill. In June of 1847, He dies aboard Erebus, his body wrapped and buried beneath the frozen earth. Leadership passes to Captain Francis Crozier. And still ... the ships do not move. In the spring of 1848, after nearly 3 years trapped, the surviving officers make a fateful decision. They will abandon the ships ... and set out over the ice. Sledges are packed. Boats are mounted upon runners. The men prepare for a desperate march south toward known Inuit lands. Toward Hudson's Bay ... toward survival. But the journey will be long ... and cruel. The Arctic gives no mercy to those unprepared. The men leave the ships in early April of 1848. The cold is still brutal. Temperatures plunge well below freezing. Each man pulls a heavy sledge, loaded with supplies, cooking gear, even books and silver from the officers' tables. Some still wear naval uniforms, their bright buttons glinting faintly beneath layers of frost. Progress is slow ... exhausting. The ice is uneven, ridged and broken. Snowdrifts swallow their steps. Boots crack with cold ... Fingers numb beneath mittens. The weight of the sledges strains every muscle. Food runs low. The preserved rations are tainted ... meager ... hard to swallow. Hunger gnaws at the men, sapping strength. Worse still, the creeping effects of lead poisoning dull minds. Cloud judgment ... that we can resolve. Some collapse along the way, unable to continue. Yet they march on, mile after mile across the endless white, hopes fixed on the southern coast. On rescue ... on survival. From time to time, small Inuit hunting parties glimpse these strange travelers, ragged, gaunt, struggling. The Inuit offer food ... advice. But cultural distance, language barriers, and suspicion linger. Some gifts are accepted. Some are not. Misunderstandings grow. The British, raised to see themselves as superior, struggle to adapt to Inuit ways that might have saved them. Spring turns to summer, though in the high Arctic, summer brings little warmth. The land remains bleak ... unforgiving. Rivers open briefly, only to freeze again. Wildlife is scarce. The men grow weaker. Starvation and cold take their toll. Some, in desperation, abandon heavy gear. Journals are left behind. Silver spoons discarded. Relics of a civilization now far from home. A few survivors stagger on. Bones grow thin beneath tattered uniforms. The last camps tell a grim story. Scattered items ... human remains. In later years, Inuit would share tales of starving white men, of desperate march across the ice, of abandoned boats and strange objects left behind. A boat dragged across land, skeletons bleached by frost. Yet no man from Franklin's cruise would return alive. The ice had claimed them all, and still their story echoes. Decades later, explorers would piece together their fate, from faded notes, scattered relics, Inuit memory. Even today, the ships themselves, Erebus and Terror, lie beneath Arctic waters, their final resting places only recently discovered. The tragedy of the Franklin expedition stands as a lesson ... of hubris. of the dangers of underestimating the Arctic and of the vital wisdom of those like the Inuit who know how to meet with this land of cold and shadow. As you rest now, imagine that frozen world the pale sky, the ice stretching to the horizon, and the quiet strength needed to endure it. Chapter 3. The Shaman's Drum. Inuit Spiritual Practices. Now, let us turn away from the frozen ships, away from the lost march of sailors across the ice, and return once more to the heart of Inuit life, beneath the snow-covered land, within the quiet walls of an igloo. Stories are shared in soft voices, stories of the unseen, of spirits that walk the wind, of powers that dwell beneath the ice, for the Inuit world is not shaped by the visible alone. It is a place of deep spiritual presence, where every stone, every breath of wind, every creature carries meaning. Among the people, there are those who see more than others, who feel the currents of unseen forces. They are known as Angakuk shamans, men or women called to this role not by birth, but by ability, by visions, by signs that mark them as touched by the spirit world. The life of an Angakuk is not an easy one. It carries great responsibility and great risk. Through rituals, through trance, through the beat of a drum, they journey between worlds, seeking guidance, healing the sick, restoring balance when it is lost. Imagine now, an igloo darkens, save for the flickering flame of the kulak. Around its light, the people gather, faces shadowed, eyes intent. In the center, the shaman sits, wrapped in furs, a carved drum in hand. The skin of the drum is taut, stretched from animal hide. Its rim engraved with symbols known to slowly steadily The shaman begins to beat the drum, a low, rhythmic sound filling the space. The beat is not hurried. It rises falls, like the pulse of life itself. The sound weaves through the minds of those present opening the senses to things beyond. The shaman's voice joins the beat, chanting words in a language older than memory. The air grows thick with presence. The veil between the worlds grows thin. Through this rhythm, the shaman enters trance. Their spirit travels across the ice, beneath the sea, into realms unseen. There they seek knowledge, speak with spirit guides, confront forces that may threaten the balance of life. Not all spirits are friendly. Some are mischievous, some dangerous. The shaman's path is fraught with trial. A weak heart and untrained mind may falter. Only through skill and courage does the shaman return safely, bringing healing wisdom or a warning. The ailments that they treat are not only of the body. A sudden run of bad hunts, sickness in the children strange dreams. These may signal a deeper disharmony. The shaman listens, observes and through ritual seeks to set things right. The people trust the Angakuk, yet also regard them with wary respect. They walk between worlds. Their knowledge is great. Their power is not fully understood. Even in times of joy, a certain distance is kept. Their tools are few, but sacred. The drum a carved staff, small amulets made of bone or stone, charms woven from sinew and fur. Each carries meaning, gathered over years of practice. The teachings of an Angakuk are not written. They are passed from elder to apprentice, through experience, through dreams, through long hours of watching the natural world. And in this world, everything speaks. the cry of a raven. The path of drifting ice, the shape of clouds against the sky. All may hold messages if one knows how to read them. The shaman listens, watches, attunes their senses to the deep rhythms of the land and sea. It is said that the strongest shamans can call upon helping spirits, animal guides who lend strength and knowledge. A polar bear, a seal got a bird. These are not mere symbols, but presences felt keenly in ritual. Through their bond, the shaman's sight and power grow. Among the Inuit, the boundary between natural and spiritual is thin. A hunter pays respect to the spirit of the animal he takes. A fisherman offers thanks to the sea. Life is a constant exchange. Give and receive, respect and gratitude. The Angakuk helps to maintain this flow, ensuring harmony between people and the unseen forces around them. And as the drumbeat slows, as the shaman's chant fades, a quiet settles once more. The ritual ends. The veil thickens. But the people listen, for signs. For the subtle shifts that tell them the spirit world remains close. Here, beneath the endless sky, amid ice and snow, life is lived in awareness of forces beyond sight. The Angakuk, with drum and chant, stands at the meeting point of these worlds. The role of the shaman extends beyond healing or divination. In times of hardship, when famine strikes, when storms linger too long, when unseen forces trouble the minds of the people, it is to the Angakuk that the community turns. Through ritual, through trance, through long, quiet observation, the shaman seeks to understand the cause of these troubles. Is a spirit displeased? Has a hunter failed in respect? Has an ancestral bond been neglected? The answers lie not only in the physical world, but in the unseen layers beneath it. In certain times of the year, communal rituals are held. Drum dances where the people gather in large igloos or snow halls. Here, multiple drums sound together, deep and resonant, creating a vibration that seems to enter the bones. Voices rise in song, telling of old legends, heroic hunts, the deeds of ancestors. During these gatherings, the shaman may move among the dancers, eyes half closed, attuned to the flows of spirit. Warnings may be spoken, guidance offered, the community gently reminded of the ancient balances that must be kept. Though they hold respect, shamans are not rulers. Their power lies in wisdom and connection to the spirit world, not in commands. Elders and family heads guide daily life. The Angakuk listens, watches, and speaks when needed. When illness strikes, fevers that drain strength, strange dreams that trouble sleep, the shaman is called. The cause may be many things: cold spirits, ancestral unrest, imbalance within the soul. Through song, through ritual, through symbolic journeys of the spirit, the Angakuk seeks to draw out the source. To restore harmony, herbs are burned, though few grow in this land. Bones are cast for signs. The drumbeat calls the helping spirits close. The patient is watched carefully. Breath, pulse, dreams. Healing here is not a simple thing. It is an act of profound understanding, of attunement to the deeper forces at play. Not all who seek the shaman's path succeed. The training is long and marked by trials. Dreams of great intensity come to those called visions of animals, of the dead, of vast spaces filled with light and shadow. These must be faced with courage. The weak of will falter. Only the strong continue. In the long months of darkness, the Angakuk's presence is a source of reassurance. When the wind howls for days, when the ice groans beneath the snow, when hunger gnaws at the belly, the knowledge that someone listens to the spirit world offers quiet strength. And in summer, when the sun returns, when the ice breaks and the sea opens, the balance of the world shifts again. The shaman watches the patterns of nature, interpreting what the new season will bring. Signs are read in the flight of birds, the drift of ice, the shape of clouds. For the Inuit, life is lived in awareness of nature, of spirit, of unseen forces that shape every breath. The Angakuk stands as a bridge, a quiet guide, reminding all that beneath the snow. Beyond the sky, other powers watch and wait as the drum's rhythm fades into silence. As the calic's flame flickers low, the people rest once more beneath the vast, starlit sky. And in their dreams, perhaps, the spirits still dance. Chapter 4, Feast of the Whale. Community and celebration. Now, let us leave the quiet shadows of the spirit world and step into a moment of light of joy. A rare and precious time amid the harshness of the Arctic. For in a land where hunger is a constant companion and survival a daily task, few events bring greater happiness or greater relief than the successful hunt of a whale. The bowhead whale, massive, ancient, and rich with life, offers not only meat, but oil bone sinew. Materials to sustain the entire community through the long months ahead. Yet such a hunt is never guaranteed. It demands skill patience and the favor of fortune. Imagine the scene. Spring has come at last. The sea ice breaks, drifting in great slabs across the open water. The sun, low on the horizon, casts a golden glow across the waves. The air is cold still, but alive with sound. The crack of ice the call of seabirds returning. From the shore, the hunters watch, eyes sharp beneath the brims of fur-lined hoods. Kayaks, slender and swift, are made ready. Harpoons are checked, shafts of strong wood, heads tipped with sharpened bone or iron. Lines of hide are coiled, ready to fly. The elders murmur quiet prayers, words of respect for the spirit of the whale. For the sea itself, the hunt is not an act of conquest, but of need, of deep relationship with the natural world. Each life taken must be honored. Then a cry goes up. A dark shape beneath the water, a slow, massive form breaking the surface. The whale is here. The hunters slide their kayaks into the sea, paddling swiftly, silently. Every movement is deliberate. There is no room for error. Closer, closer. The whale surfaces again, its breath a great mist in the cold air. Harpoons fly, the lines running out fast, pulled taut by the strength of the beast. The struggle is long, dangerous. The whale dives, Cole's fights. But in time, with skill and unity, the hunters prevail. The great body is towed slowly to shore. News spreads quickly. A whale has been taken. From every igloo, from scattered hunting camps, families gather. There is laughter in the air. Voices raised in joy. Children run ahead, eyes bright. The long hunger of winter has been broken. Now begins the feast, not merely of food, but of community. The whale is welcomed ashore with ceremony. The elders speak words of gratitude, and the work of butchering begins. Every part of the whale will be used, nothing wasted. Thick slabs of meat are cut and shared. The rich blubber, prized for its energy and warmth, is divided among families. The bones will be shaped into tools, the sinew woven into strong cords. The oil, rendered slowly over many days, will feed the colics, bringing light and life to every home. The sharing is done with care, with fairness. Elders, hunters, widows, children, all receive their share. In this land, where survival depends on the whole, no one is left out. The feast is not only of food, but of unity. Fires burn low on the beach. Around them stories are told of past hunts, of great whales taken long ago, of hunters now gone whose skill lives on in memory. Laughter rises. Songs drift into the night air. And as the sun circles low in the sky, never quite setting in these months of light, the community comes together in warmth, in gratitude, in the deep, enduring joy of survival shared. But the work is not yet done. The whale must be fully processed, meat dried or frozen for the coming months, oil rendered and stored. The labor is hard, but hearts are light. For this is a time to remember, amid the ice, the cold, the endless challenges of the Arctic, there's also abundance. There's also joy, and the feast of the whale with its songs, its laughter, its gathering of all, stands as a shining moment in a long rhythm of Inuit life. As the days unfold, the whale's bounty continues to nourish both body and spirit. The meat is carefully prepared, some portions cooked fresh over open fires, their rich aroma drifting across the beach. Others sliced thin and hung to dry in the cold, dry air, preserving strength for the long months ahead. The women work skillfully, their hands practiced in the ancient ways. Strips of blubber are rendered into oil, thick and golden, stored in stone vessels or sealskin containers. This oil will burn in the cullix through the coming winter, bringing light to the dark months. Children help where they can, learning by doing, watching how each part of the whale is treated with respect, with gratitude. There are no idle lessons here. Knowledge is passed hand to hand, from elder to child. The bones, once stripped of flesh, are cleaned and set aside. They will become sled runners, tool handles, frames for summer tents. Even scraps of sinew are gathered, spun into strong cords for fishing or sewing. Around the fires, the mood is light. After the long trials of winter, the people share more than just food. They share relief, companionship, hope. Voices rise in song, telling of the hunt, of the whale's spirit, of the bonds between the people and the sea. For the Inuit, the whale is more than prey. It is a being of great power, of great spirit. Its gift of life is honored through word and deed. Elders tell stories of the first whale, of how the people learned to hunt with respect, of the balance that must always be kept. In this, the feast is also a renewal of traditions, of memory, of the ties that bind one generation to the next. The youngest children, wide-eyed in the firelight, hear these stories for the first time. The oldest among them remember feasts long past, faces long gone. And so the cycle continues, life sustained by life, respect given for what is taken. Gratitude expressed through song, through sharing, through careful use of every precious gift. As the sun traces wide circles in the sky, never fully setting, the days of feasting slowly pass. The whale's great form grows smaller, its bounty carried away to many homes. But the memory of this time, the songs, the laughter, the unity, lingers long after. For in the Arctic, moments of plenty are rare and must be savored. The feast of the whale is such a moment, a celebration of life's endurance, of nature's generosity, and of the deep bonds that hold a people together in one of the harshest lands on earth. And as the fires fade, as the last songs drift into the endless light, the community returns to its daily rhythm. The hunt will continue. The seasons will turn. But for a little while, they have known abundance, and shared it well. Chapter 5. The Silent Hunters. Mastering the harpoon now. Let us follow the hunters, as they return to the sea, where skill, patience, and deep knowledge are tested with every breath. Among the Inuit, the hunt is not merely a task. It is a calling, a craft honed over lifetimes. And at the heart of this craft is the harpoon, a simple tool, yet one of profound mastery. Shaped from wood, bone, ivory, and sinew, the harpoon must balance strength and precision. Its shaft, long and straight, is polished smooth by practiced hands. The head, sharp, barbed, detachable, is lashed securely, yet designed to release upon striking its mark. Attached to this is a long, coiled line of braided hide, strong enough to endure the fight of seal or narwhal, yet supple enough to move swiftly through cold water. To master this weapon is to master survival. Picture now a hunter kneeling by the water's edge. Before him, a seal's breathing hole, a narrow gap in the sea ice, kept open by the animal's warm breath. Around it, the snow is marked by subtle tracks, the faintest sign of life beneath the frozen sea. The hunter waits, motionless, dot for minutes, for hours. The cold creeps into limbs. Muscles stiffen, but still he waits, gaze steady, breath shallow. The rhythm of the seal's visits is known only through long observation, through a deep understanding of the creature's ways. At last, a faint ripple, a soft exhale of air. The seal returns, in one smooth, practiced motion. The harpoon is launched, silent, precise. The line runs out, the hunter pulling skillfully to secure the catch. It is a moment of triumph, but also of deep respect. The hunter murmurs words of thanks to the seal's spirit. The animal's body is prepared with care, its every part destined for use, food, oil, skin, sinew. Waste is unthinkable. Beyond the breathing holes, other hunts call. The open sea, when the ice breaks, The swift narwhal with its long spiral tusk, The walrus, massive and fierce. Each demands its own skills, its own techniques. The kayak, narrow, light, covered in stretched skin, is an extension of the hunter. Silent across the waves, and allows approach without sound. The paddle moves with a rhythm learned young, steady, smooth, part of the body. Here, amid drifting ice and cold waters, the hunter's senses are sharp. The gleam of sun on water, The pattern of ripples, the sudden shadow below, Each tells a story, each offers a chance. The strike, when it comes, is swift and sure. The line sings through the air, tension crackling. The fight begins, man and animal bound in a dance of strength and endurance. Through it all, the hunter remains calm. FOCUCD, drawing upon generations of knowledge. Training for this mastery begins early. Children watch their elders, learning first through eyes, then through hands. They practice with small harpoons, with targets set in snow or water. They are taught not only skill, but respect for the hunt, for the animals, for the balance of life. The harpoon itself is cared for with reverence. Each part is checked, repaired, renewed. Before a hunt, the weapon is prepared with quiet intent, its purpose clear. In winter, the hunt moves inland, for caribou, for small game. But always the harpoon remains central to life upon the sea. Its craft embodies more than skill. It is a connection to the past, a promise for the future. And so the silent hunters move across the ice and water, Eye sharp, hands, steady, bound by respect and mastery. As the seasons turn, so too does the rhythm of the hunt. In spring, when the ice begins to break, open leads of water appear. Here, in the shifting margins between ice and sea, the hunters seek larger game. The kayak glides silently along these narrow channels. its curved bow parting the water with barely a ripple. The hunter's body is attuned to every movement, the roll of the waves, the shifting ice, the sudden appearance of life below. Seals bask on floating ice. Narwhals surface for breath. Birds wheel above, their calls echoing across the empty spaces. Patience remains the greatest skill. The hunter waits, sometimes for hours, paddle resting across the lap, harpoon poised. The world grows still. In that stillness, opportunity arises. The strike, when it comes, is a blend of instinct and experience. Years of practice guide the throw, strength, angle, timing all aligning in a single, fluid motion. The harpoon flies, line trailing after, the battle begins. In these moments, strength alone is not enough. The hunter must read the animal's movements. Adjust grip. Allow the line to run or hold firm. The balance between exertion and control determines success. A misjudged pull can lose the catch. A careless grip can cost life itself. Victory is hard won. The animal is brought in with great effort, its weight challenging even the strongest arms. Yet with each catch, the hunter fulfills not only personal need, but the needs of the entire community. Food, warmth, light, all depend upon these skillful hands. And through it all, respect endures. The whale, the seal, the narwhal, none are hunted thoughtlessly. Each is honored, its spirit acknowledged. The hunter speaks quiet words, offering thanks for the life taken. Such respect is woven into every part of the hunt. It is seen in the careful preparation of tools, in the sharing of the catch, in the teachings passed from elder to youth. The harpoon itself, though simple in form, carries centuries of meaning, a symbol of life, of tradition, of harmony with the land and sea. In the long months of winter, when the sea lies frozen once more, the hunters turn to teaching. Children gather in the dim light of the igloo, listening to tales of great hunts, of narrow escapes, of wisdom learned through hardship. Small harpoons are shaped from driftwood, practiced with joy and determination. Through play, skill is born. Through story, values are taught. The crafting of a new harpoon is a quiet ritual. Each part is chosen with care. The shaft from straight, seasoned wood. The head from dense bone, or iron the line from cured hide. Hours of labor go into its making. And when it is ready, the hunter tests it, feeling the balance, the weight, the promise of what is to come. For in the hands of the skilled, the harpoon is more than a weapon. It is a bridge between past and present, a tool of survival, a bearer of tradition. And as the hunter moves once more across the ice, kayak gliding, eyes sharp, harpoon ready, the ancient rhythm of life in the Arctic continues as it has for countless generations. Chapter 6. Starving in the White Wastes. How Inuit face famine now, as the wind rises. Let us turn to a darker chapter in the story of survival. For even among the skilled, even among those who know the ice and sea, the Arctic remains a land of harsh uncertainty. Success is never guaranteed. The best hunter may return empty-handed. The sea may freeze too soon. The game may vanish. Storms may linger beyond their time. And when this happens, when hunger takes hold, the white wastes become a place of trial beyond measure. Imagine a land now, deep in winter, when the sun has not risen for many weeks. The ice lies thick across the sea, unbroken. Snowdrifts cover the land in great waves of white. The air is sharp, bitter, each breath a cold that bites deep. In the igloo, the flame of the culloch flickers low. Supplies dwindle. The last scraps of dried meat are rationed with care. There is little talk. Hunger weighs upon every word, upon every glance. Children grow thin, their cheeks hollow. The old sit in silence, wrapped in every scrap of fur. Mothers hush their little ones, though no food waits. Outside, the hunters still go. Day after day, they brave the cold, searching for any sign of life, but the seals are gone. The snow hare is elusive, even the ptarmigan scarce. The ice groans beneath their feet, but gives no bounty. Each morning brings a choice, to stay and grow weaker, or to risk the hunt again. Hope battles with exhaustion. Yet still they go, for to wait is to fade. In such times, skill alone is not enough. Endurance becomes the hunter's greatest strength, not of body, but of spirit. The will to rise, to walk, to watch, when every muscle cries for rest. The old stories speak of such winters, tales of how the ancestors faced the lean years, of how some turned to the land for bitter roots, to the sea ice for fish unseen, of how, when all else failed, hard choices were made for the sake of those who might yet live. Among the Inuit, famine is met not with despair, but with deep resolve. The bonds of the family, the strength of the community, are tested and often strengthened. Those with even a little share what they have, the young give to the old. The strong protect the weak. Still, the nights grow colder. The body weakens. The mind drifts. In such hunger, strange dreams come of warmth, of plenty, of voices long gone. To sleep too long is to risk never waking. The culloch burns low. Oil is scarce. The light it gives flickers uncertain. In the dark, mothers sing softly to their children, ancient lullabies that speak of hope, of the return of the sun. And then sometimes, a change, a shift in the wind, The faint sound of cracking ice, a breath of hope. The hunters rise again, spurred by a force deeper than hunger, the need to bring life back to their people. A track is found, a seal's breathing hole newly opened, a ptarmigan's print in the snow. The chase begins once more. The harpoon flies. Success, when it comes, is met with quiet tears, with words of thanks whispered into the cold. The meat is shared swiftly. The first bites bring warmth to weary bodies. The culloch flares brighter. Slowly, life returns. But the memory of the famine remains. It is carved into the minds of those who endured, passed into story. A lesson to the young, that even in the white wastes, where hunger bites deepest, strength and unity can prevail.
In the aftermath of famine, the community gathers its strength. Bodies must heal. Stores must be rebuilt. Spirits must be soothed. The elders speak, sharing what was learned, what must be remembered. For in the Arctic, hardship is a teacher as much as it is a test. Careful attention is given to preparation. In the seasons of plenty, no effort is spared to store food, to repair tools, to teach the young how to recognize the signs of an approaching lean year. The land is watched with new eyes. The flight of birds, the thickness of the ice, the migration of the caribou, all speak to those who know how to listen. Stories of past famines are told with quiet reverence, not as warnings alone, but as guides, living knowledge passed down, so that future generations may endure what their ancestors once faced. Among the Inuit, there is deep respect for those who have survived the hardest winters. Their wisdom is valued. Their voices carry weight. They teach the young that skill and bravery are not enough. Patience, humility, cooperation. These are the true keys to life in the white wastes. In some families, amulets are made, small charms carved from bone or ivory, marked with symbols of endurance. They are worn on the hunt, kept near the Kullik, reminders of the strength within, songs to arise from these times, laments for the lost, chants of survival, verses that speak of hunger's shadow and the light that can follow. These songs are sung softly on long nights, binding the community through shared memory. And when a new season begins, when the ice thaws, the sea opens, and life stirs once more, the people do not forget. They give thanks to the land, to the animals, to the spirits that watch unseen. For survival here is never taken for granted. Each year is a gift hard-earned. In this, the harshness of the Arctic shapes more than the body. It shapes the heart, the will, the very way of seeing the world. No one stands alone. Every life depends upon the web of family, of community, of the bonds that tie one person to another. Even now, in stories told beneath the soft light of the Kullik, the old lessons endure. The young listen closely, for they know, in this land, where the snows can fall without end, where the winds can sing for weeks, knowledge is life. And so the cycle turns. From famine to plenty, from trial to renewal, the people endure, as they always have, with quiet strength, with deep respect, with hearts bound to one another beneath the endless Arctic sky.
Chapter 7. Building the perfect igloo now. Let us leave behind the white wastes of hunger and turn our gaze to something more enduring. A marvel of quiet ingenuity shaped by skilled hands. A shelter that turns snow itself into life-saving warmth. The igloo. In the language of the Inuit, igloo simply means house. But in the minds of many, it has come to symbolize an entire way of life. Survival through skill, through knowledge, through harmony with the land. To build an igloo is to understand snow, to know its many forms, to read the subtle differences in grain and weight and strength. Not all snow is suited for shelter. The builder must seek snow that is compact, fine-grained, hardened by wind, yet not brittle. Such snow will cut cleanly, form sturdy blocks that can bear weight and insulate against the cold. Imagine now a wide open plain of wind-swept snow. The hunter stands, feeling the snow beneath his boots, scooping a handful, testing it between gloved fingers. With experience, he knows at once if this snow will serve. If it will not, he moves on, searching until the right place is found. When it is, the work begins. With a snow knife, often carved from bone, ivory, or modern steel, the first blocks are cut. Thick, rectangular, carefully lifted from the drift. One by one, they are shaped and set in place, forming the base of a wide circle. Here, the art begins. The igloo must rise not straight, but in a spiral, each block tilted slightly inward, so that the walls curve gently toward the center. This shape gives strength, allowing the dome to bear the weight of snow and wind without collapse. As the walls rise, the builder works swiftly but carefully. The cut edges of each block must fit tightly against its neighbors. Gaps are filled with loose snow, packed down to seal out the wind. No mortar is used, only the natural cohesion of snow itself. The spiral continues, the walls closing higher, the dome beginning to take shape. The builder may work alone or with others, passing up blocks, smoothing joints, testing each layer for balance and strength. A key moment comes when the final block, the keystone, is cut and placed. This piece locks the entire structure in place. When it is set, the igloo stands complete, a curved shell of snow, strong and stable, ready to shelter those within. But the work does not end there. An entrance must be made, a low tunnel leading inward, trapping cold air before it can enter the living space. Inside, the floor is shaped higher than the entrance, so that warmer air naturally collects where the family will sleep and work. The inner walls are smoothed, the floor lined with caribou hides. Over time, body heat and the warmth of the kullik will cause a thin layer of ice to form inside the dome, further strengthening it. And so, from simple snow, using only skill and knowledge, a place of refuge is made. In a land where temperatures can fall far below freezing, the igloo offers remarkable warmth. Inside, with even a small lamp burning, temperatures may rise above freezing, a welcome comfort after long hours on the ice. The igloo is not merely shelter. It is a symbol of mastery over the environment, of deep understanding passed through countless generations. To build it well is a mark of skill and wisdom. And when the builder rests inside, beneath the soft, glowing dome, the storm may rage outside. The wind may howl across the plain, but within there is warmth, light, and life. Once the igloo is complete, life within its curved walls settles into a familiar rhythm. Though built of snow, this space becomes home, a place of warmth amid a frozen world. Inside, the family gathers close. Thick caribou hides line the raised sleeping platform, insulating against the cold beneath. The kullik burns low, its gentle flame casting a soft glow upon the smooth inner walls. Shadows shift and dance, mirroring the lives within. The entrance tunnel, low and narrow, serves not only to block the cold, but also to mark the transition between the harsh world outside and the quiet refuge within. Stepping into the igloo is to step into a space shaped by human hands, by knowledge, by care. For the children, the igloo is more than shelter. It is a place of stories. Beneath its snowy dome, they listen to the words of their elders, tales of long-ago hunts, of the spirits of the land, of the ancestors whose wisdom lives on. In this space, the past is remembered, the future prepared. Maintaining the igloo is an ongoing task. As days pass and the lamp burns, the inner walls may soften. Small cracks are repaired with fresh snow. The entrance tunnel is cleared of drifting snow. Attention to such details is part of the rhythm of life, an act of respect for the shelter that guards them. In times of travel, when hunting parties move across the ice, smaller igloos may be built, shelters for a single night or two. These must be shaped swiftly, their walls thinner but still strong. In such moments, the builder's skill is most tested, knowing how to read the snow, how to shape it quickly, how to create warmth where none existed. And when the journey ends, when the camp is struck, the igloo is left to the land. In time, the wind will wear it down, the sun will soften its curves, and snow will reclaim it. But for a while, it stood a testament to human craft amid a vast, indifferent landscape. There is great pride in the building of an igloo. Among the Inuit, to shape a perfect dome, to make it strong and warm, is a mark of mastery. Young builders learn from their elders, first watching, then helping, then shaping their own. Mistakes are part of learning. A wall that leans, a dome that collapses, these are lessons remembered well. Yet with time, with patience, guidance, the skill is gained, and when the young builder first steps back to admire a finished igloo, knowing it will stand against the storm, there is a deep satisfaction, the knowledge of tradition honored, of wisdom carried forward. In the endless white of the Arctic, the igloo stands as a quiet triumph, not of conquest, but of understanding. It is shaped not in defiance of the land, but in harmony with it, using what the land offers, honoring its ways. And so, beneath the curved walls of snow, life continues. The storm may howl beyond, the cold may press against the dome, but within there is warmth, family, memory. The igloo holds, as it has held for countless generations, a simple, perfect shelter beneath the endless Arctic sky. Chapter 8. The Stories of the Sky Inuit, Myth and Oral History. Now let us lift our gaze from the snow-covered land to the wide Arctic sky above, a sky filled not only with stars and clouds, but with stories, with meaning, with ancient voices carried through time. For among the Inuit, the sky is more than a vast emptiness. It is a living presence, a place where spirits dwell, where ancestors watch, where the patterns of light and dark speak to those who know how to listen. On long winter nights, beneath the flickering light of the kullik, stories are told, stories as old as memory, passed from elder to child, from hunter to daughter, from mother to son. These tales shape the world, giving it meaning, reminding each listener of their place within it. Among the most cherished are the stories of the Northern Lights, the Inuit. When the skies dance with shimmering bands of green and white, the people pause, watching in reverence. The elders say these lights are the spirits of ancestors, playing across the heavens, or perhaps they are the souls of animals, leaping joyfully among the stars. Some say the lights sing, a faint, high-pitched sound that only the most attentive can hear. It is said that to whistle at the lights invites them closer, though others warn that such teasing may bring misfortune. Children listen wide-eyed as these tales unfold, learning not just about the lights, but about respect for the unseen, for the spirits that move beyond human sight. The stories guide behavior, shaping the way one moves through the world. And the sky holds other tales. The constellations, familiar to Inuit eyes, form not Greek heroes, but figures from their own land. The great caribou, leaping across the stars, the hunter in pursuit, the mother protecting her child. These patterns serve as both story and guide, helping the traveler to find their way across snow and ice. One beloved story speaks of Melina and Enigan, the sun and the moon. Melina, the sun goddess, and her brother Enigan, the moon god, once lived in harmony. But a quarrel drove them apart, and now Enigan chases his sister endlessly across the sky. As he runs, he forgets to eat, growing thinner each month, thus the waning of the moon. When he remembers to eat, he regains his strength, and the moon waxes once more. Such stories explain the rhythms of nature, teaching through metaphor the cycles of light and darkness, of life and renewal. They bring comfort, understanding, and a sense of order to a world often harsh and uncertain. Oral history carries not only myth, but memory. The great hunts of old, the journeys of ancestors across shifting ice, encounters with distant peoples, all are preserved in the spoken word. Without writing, the Inuit rely upon the strength of their voices, the accuracy of their memories. A skilled storyteller is revered, able to recall the details of long-past winters, of storms weathered, of lessons learned. Their words are not entertainment alone. They are a living library, a guide for those who will one day face the same winds, the same snows. And in this way, the past remains present. Each telling renews the bond between generations, reminding the young that they walk in the footsteps of those who came before, that their own stories will one day be told in turn. In a world where the land offers no written record, the sky becomes a book of light and movement, and the voice becomes the pen that writes history across the hearts of those who listen. Beyond the lights and the stars, the Inuit speak of other beings, those who dwell unseen, whose actions shape the fortunes of hunters, families, and entire communities. The land is alive with spirits in the mountains, beneath the sea, upon the wind. These spirits are not always gentle. Some must be approached with caution, with respect, with the proper words and gestures. One such being is Sedna, the goddess of the sea. Her story is told often, her presence keenly felt. Sedna once lived as a young woman, her life marked by hardship and betrayal. Cast into the sea, her fingers severed, she became the mother of all sea creatures, seals, walrus, whales. When the hunters bring home rich catches, thanks is given to Sedna. If the hunt goes poorly, it is said she is displeased. In such times, the shaman may be called upon to journey into the spirit world, to soothe her anger, to restore the balance. Children hear these tales and understand. The sea is to be honored, its gifts never taken lightly. Gratitude, humility, and care must guide every act. The stories teach values as much as they teach history. There are darker tales as well of the Kalupalut, beings who dwell beneath the ice. These strange creatures, it is said, lure the unwary with soft whispers, especially children who stray too far from their families. The Kalupalut sees them, drawing them down into the cold depths. Such stories are told not only to frighten, but to protect, reminding the young to stay close, to heed the warnings of their elders. The landscape itself is filled with meaning. A ridge of stone, a lonely cairn, a curve of drifted snow, all may mark places where important events unfolded, where spirits dwell, where caution is needed. Oral history preserves these markers, passing knowledge from one generation to the next. In this way, navigation across the vast, often featureless Arctic is guided not only by skill with stars or compass, but by memory of stories tied to the land, of journeys taken by ancestors. A skilled elder may look upon a distant peak and recall, "This is the place where my grandfather once found shelter from a great storm, where seals gathered. Thick upon the ice where a narrow path leads safely through treacherous drifts." Such knowledge is invaluable. In a land without roads or written maps, the oral record is the map, rich with detail, shaped by countless voices across time. Even the smallest child learns early to listen, to remember, not through force, but through the natural rhythm of life. Stories told during the long nights of winter, repeated with each season's return. By the time they are grown, the young know the tales as surely as they know the shape of the land beneath their feet. And so, through the quiet persistence of the spoken word, history is kept alive. The deeds of great hunters, the journeys of distant ancestors, the warnings of the spirits, the joys and sorrows of the people, all live in the stories, ready to guide those who come next. Under the endless sky, the stories continue, carried on the breath of the teller, shaped anew with each retelling, yet ever the same. And as long as the voices speak, as long as the stars wheel above, the history of the Inuit will never be lost. Chapter 9. Sled Dogs, Loyal Companions of Survival. Now let us turn our gaze from the stars, from the spirits of the sky, and look once more to the snow-covered land below. For here, amid the ice and wind, another kind of companion moves alongside the Inuit, strong, tireless, loyal, the sled dog. To live and thrive in the Arctic is to move across vast distances, over shifting ice, through deep snow. And long before modern machines arrived, it was the sled dog that made such journeys possible. These dogs are not merely animals of burden. They are partners bonded to their human families through shared work, shared hardship, shared life. The Inuit word kimik means simply dog. Yet in that simple word lies great respect. These are not pets in the sense known elsewhere. They are working animals, valued, sometimes feared, always honored. Strong of body, thick of coat, bred for endurance rather than speed alone. The sled dog is a creature shaped by the land itself. Its dense fur protects against brutal cold. Its wide paws spread weight across soft snow. Its powerful muscles drive the sled forward for mile after endless mile. To raise and train a sled dog is an art. From birth, the pups are watched closely. Their strength, their spirit, their instincts. The best are chosen for the team. Others may serve as hunters or guards. Each pup learns through play, through mimicry, through the quiet guidance of its elders. A skilled musher, the driver of the sled, knows each dog by name, by nature. He knows who leads best, who pulls hardest, who must be calmed, who thrives in the chase. The bond between musher and team is forged through countless journeys in cold and darkness and light alike. Picture now the sled itself. Long runners of wood, sometimes strengthened with bone or sinew, lashed with rawhide. Upon it, goods are packed, meat, tools, furs, secured against the jolting ride to come. The dogs are harnessed, lines taut, eager. At the musher's soft command, they surge forward, not with a roar, but with quiet determination. The sled glides behind them, over snowdrifts, across hard-packed trails, through fields of blowing snow. The rhythm of the team becomes steady, a living current moving through the white silence. In deep winter, when the sun does not rise, the dogs guide the way through darkness, their breath misting in the cold air, their bodies strong beneath the northern sky. In spring, when the ice grows treacherous, their instincts warn of danger unseen, thin ice, hidden cracks. A musher learns to trust these signals, for a dog's senses may mean the difference between safe passage and sudden loss. Rest is taken often, not only for the humans, but for the dogs themselves. Meat is shared, rich and fatty, the food of endurance. The musher checks each paw, tending small injuries, ensuring no frostbite creeps in. The harnesses are inspected, adjusted with care. And when the night falls, when the camp is made and the cullic burns low, the dogs lie curled in the snow, their bodies warmed by their own heat, their ears still alert. A soft word from the musher, a touch of hand to fur, and they rest, ready for the miles ahead. The life of a sled dog is one of constant movement, constant challenge. But it is also a life of meaning, a life bound to purpose, to partnership, to survival itself. And as the sled glides once more across the endless white, the bond between human and dog endures, strong, unspoken, deep as the snow beneath their feet. In the traditions of the Inuit, sled dogs are not only seen as workers, but as members of the extended family, each with a spirit and a place in the order of life. They are spoken to with respect, praised for their efforts, chastised when necessary, but never with cruelty. For in a world where survival depends on trust and skill, the bond between musher and dog must be strong, built upon mutual understanding. Young children grow up watching the dogs, learning their ways. They see how the older dogs teach the young, how discipline is balanced with encouragement, how the musher moves among them with quiet authority. In time, the children learn to harness the dogs themselves, to guide the sled, to care for the animals in the harshest of weather. Each team has its leaders, dogs of sharp mind and unshakable will. A lead dog must do more than pull. It must read the land, respond to the musher's commands, choose the safest path across shifting ice or fresh snow. Such dogs are rare and highly valued. Their names are known across villages, their offspring prized. Stories are told of great lead dogs who saved teams from disaster, who led their humans home through blinding storms. Even among the team, hierarchy matters. The dogs know their place, lead, point, swing, wheel, each position requiring a certain temperament and skill. A good musher watches for these traits, adjusting the team to bring out its best. Harmony among the dogs is as important as their strength. Feeding is a ritual of its own. After a long day's run, the dogs are fed rich meat, often seal or caribou, sometimes fish. The meal is not merely nourishment, it is a reward, a moment of connection. The musher moves among the dogs, speaking softly, checking for signs of fatigue or injury. In these small acts, The bond is strengthened day by day. During the coldest months, when winds howl and temperatures plunge, the dogs remain outside. Their thick fur and hardy nature, allowing them to withstand what would freeze a human in moments. They curl into tight balls, paws over noses, tails wrapped close. In the morning, they rise, shake free of frost, and once more stand ready to pull. There is no laziness in a well-trained sled dog, no hesitation. The joy of the run, the pull of the sled, the challenge of the trail, these are what they are born to do. And when harnessed, they leap forward with eager strength, their voices raised in short barks of excitement. In times of famine, when even the humans must ration every bite, the dogs are fed first, for without them, the hunt cannot continue. Supplies cannot be gathered, the village cannot survive. This is not sentiment, but necessity, and the dogs are valued all the more for it. And when in the fullness of time, a great sled dog grows old, its muzzle turning white, its pace slowing, it is given honor. Some are retired to lighter duties, teaching the young. Others pass peacefully, their names remembered in story and song. For in this land, where the line between life and death is often thin, every being who helps the people endure is cherished. In modern times, snow machines and other technologies have come to the Arctic, but the bond between Inuit and sled dog remains. Many still keep teams, honoring the old ways, knowing that in the heart of the land, no machine can truly replace the strength, the instinct, the companionship of the Kimmick. And so, across the snows of today, as in centuries past, the sled glides forward, the dogs lean into the harness, and the musher stands behind, guiding, trusting, bound in deep partnership with these loyal companions of survival. Chapter 10. The First Contact, Inuit and European Explorers. Now, let us return to a moment in time when two very different worlds first touched across the snows of the north. For centuries, the Inuit lived apart, shaped by the Arctic, by cycles, its spirits, its challenges. Their ways were ancient, their skills perfectly tuned to this land of ice and wind. They needed little from the outside world, but to the south, change was stirring. Explorers from Europe, driven by ambition, curiosity, and dreams of new trade routes, were beginning to push into the far north. Ships of wood and iron, their sails full of cold wind, nosed into icy channels. These were men who knew the sea, but not the Arctic, who brought with them goods both strange and coveted. The first meetings between Inuit and Europeans were cautious, marked by curiosity and deep difference. Picture now a wide bay, ice broken by a ship's passage. On the shore, Inuit hunters watch, silent, wary, eyes narrowing against the glare of sun on snow. They see figures moving on deck, hear the strange cries of foreign tongues, glimpse glittering objects unfamiliar. To the sailors aboard, the Inuit appear from the whiteness, clothed in thick furs, faces weathered by wind. Their sled dogs restless beside them, a world apart, now standing at the edge of their world. Gifts are exchanged, small at first, knives of steel, beads of colored glass, bits of cloth from the south. In return, the sailors receive pelts of fox and seal, bone tools, meat to fill their empty stores. For the Inuit, these new goods are curious. Steel blades cut with ease. Cloth is soft, though ill-suited to the wet cold. Yet alongside interest runs caution. The strangers know little of the land, little of the ways that life is sustained here. They arrive too late in the season, move clumsily upon the ice, bring sicknesses unseen before. Communication is slow, gestures, signs, the gradual learning of words. Misunderstandings arise. Some encounters are peaceful, marked by mutual benefit. Others turn tense, even violent. Trust must be earned, and often is not. The Inuit observe much. They see that the strangers rely heavily on their ships, that they lack the skills to hunt or travel overland. In some places, Inuit families assist, guiding lost explorers, teaching how to prepare meat, how to clothe for the cold. In others, they withdraw, preferring the safety of distance. Stories spread from village to village, of ships trapped in ice, of pale men seeking help, of goods never before imagined. The elders debate. Are these new arrivals a blessing, a danger, or both? And so, through the long winters and brief summers, contact deepens, slowly, unevenly. The Inuit adapt quickly, taking what is useful. Steel needles replace bone. Iron pots supplement stone. But always the heart of their life remains unchanged. For they know no trade good, no foreign trinket can replace knowledge of the land, of the sea, of the spirits that govern all. The Arctic will not yield to metal or cloth alone. Survival still depends on ancient ways, on harmony with nature, on deep respect for all that lives. And as the explorers sail away or vanish into the ice, as some do, the Inuit watch and remember. Their stories grow richer, carrying forward the lessons of these first meetings, tales of strange ships, of bold men, of a world beyond the snows. A world glimpsed, but never needed. As the years passed, the contacts between Inuit and European explorers became more frequent and more complex. With each new ship that ventured north, more goods from distant lands arrived. Tools, weapons, woven fabrics, beads, tobacco. Some of these were welcomed, becoming woven into Inuit life. Others were met with suspicion, for not all changes brought benefit. Trade soon developed informal, often unspoken agreements that allowed both sides to gain. The Inuit provided furs, fresh meat, guidance through the ice. The Europeans, in return, offered items of great novelty, axes of iron, metal kettles, rifles. But with these goods also came disruptions. Iron replaced stone, but with it came new dependencies. Ammunition for rifles was not easily made in the Arctic. When supplies from the south ran out, the old ways of hunting had to be remembered. Some elders cautioned against too much reliance on the stranger's goods, warning that what the land provides is always more certain than what a ship may bring. Disease, too, came north with the explorers. Illnesses unknown to Inuit bodies spread swiftly, sometimes devastating whole camps. In those dark winters when cough and fever stole life away, the old knowledge, herbal remedies, the guidance of the Angakuk was tested and often found powerless against these new afflictions. Yet still the Inuit observed, adapted, endured. They learned the ways of the newcomers, their speech, their tools, their hunger for maps and knowledge of the land. Some served as guides, earning valuable goods in exchange. Others remained apart, wary of deeper entanglement. In some encounters, trust grew. Friendships were forged between individuals, bonds that crossed the great divide of culture and language. In others, mistrust and violence marred the meeting, leaving scars upon both sides. The Arctic is a land that remembers such things, and the stories of those first meetings were carried long in the memories of the people. Over time, the Inuit came to see the limits of the newcomers. Many explorers, though brave, were ill-prepared for the Arctic. They relied on their ships, on their charts, on goods ill-suited to the deep cold. Without Inuit guidance, many would have perished, and indeed some did, their fates remembered and stories told beside the Kullik. Inuit knowledge remained paramount. The wisdom of reading the ice, of finding game in lean seasons, of clothing the body in garments that truly protected. These were things no European map or machine could replace. Even today, echoes of those first contacts remain. in place names, in artifacts traded long ago, in stories passed from elder to child. And among the Inuit themselves, the understanding endures that to thrive in this land is to honor the old ways, to blend new knowledge carefully, and to trust above all in the teachings of the ancestors. For while ships may come and go, all goods from the south may change with each generation. The land remains vast, patient, demanding, and only those who walk in harmony with it will truly endure. And so, beneath the endless Arctic sky, the stories of first contact live on in memory, in word, in quiet understanding. A chapter of history written in snow and ice. Chapter 11. Life beneath the ice, Inuit, and foraging. Now let us look beneath the snow. Beneath the thick sea ice, to the hidden world of life that waits below. For even in the depths of winter, when the land lies frozen and still, the sea beneath remains a source of nourishment, of hope, of survival. Among the Inuit, the art of fishing beneath the ice is a skill of patience, knowledge, and quiet respect. It is not enough to simply cut a hole and hope. One must understand the waters, their currents, their creatures, the rhythms that govern when and where fish will move. Imagine now the deep heart of winter. The sea lies locked beneath a meter or more of solid ice. Snow drifts high along the shore. The air is sharp with cold, each breath crisp and dry. Yet a small group of hunters makes their way across the ice, sleds pulled by dogs, tools packed with care. They move with purpose, guided by memory. They know where the fish will gather, where the ice is strong, where past generations have come before. Knowledge passed from elder to child shapes each step. When the place is reached, work begins. A hole must be cut, a wide circle opened slowly with an ice chisel or auger, its edge smoothed so that the line will not fray. The water below is dark, cold, alive with unseen movement. Lines are prepared, long cords of hide or sinew, tipped with hooks crafted from bone, ivory, or metal. Bait is chosen carefully, often small pieces of seal meat or shrimp, depending on what is sought, and then the wait begins. In the cold stillness, patience is the hunter's ally. The line is watched with care, every tremble felt through gloved fingers. Sometimes hours pass in silence. The world grows small, just the hole, the line, the slow rhythm of the breath. When a fish strikes, a sudden tug, a pulse of life beneath the ice, the hunter acts with swift precision. The line is pulled steadily, firmly, drawing the catch from the depths. Arctic char, cod, and other cold water species provide rich, nourishing meat, a vital source of energy through the long dark months. Each fish is treated with care. Words of thanks may be whispered, honoring the gift of life. The catch is packed in snow to freeze naturally, preserved for the days ahead. Fishing beneath the ice is not always solitary. Families may come together, women and children helping to prepare bait, tending fires nearby. Stories are told as the lines are watched, laughter shared beneath the open sky. In this, even the harshest winter days are softened by community. Foraging, too, plays its part in survival. Though the Arctic seems barren in winter, in the warmer months it blooms with life. Berries ripen on low shrubs, roots and greens offer nourishment, seaweed drifts ashore. The Inuit know where to look, when to gather, how to prepare these gifts of the land. In late summer, when the tundra blazes with color, families move across the land, baskets in hand, seeking cloudberries, crowberries, saxifrage. These small fruits, rich in vitamins, are prized, eaten fresh, or preserved with seal oil for the winter ahead. Roots of certain plants are dug with care, their bitter strength a tonic against the fatigue of long cold seasons. Seaweed is gathered from the shore, dried beneath the sun, stored for later use. Nothing is taken thoughtlessly. The land is observed, its balance respected. Only what is needed is gathered, and gratitude is always given. For the Inuit know, to live well in this land is to live in harmony with its rhythms, its offerings. And so, beneath the ice, among the stones, upon the shore, life continues. The skilled hands of the people draw sustenance from what others might overlook, shaped by wisdom deep as the sea itself. In the shifting seasons of the Arctic, the work of fishing and foraging continues, shaped always by time, by tide, by the movement of life beneath snow and ice. In early spring, when the sun first returns and begins its slow climb, the sea ice starts to thin. Cracks appear, leads of open water form between the floes. It is then that new opportunities arise. The hunters and fishers venture farther across the ice, guided by experience. They seek places where the fish gather thick beneath the thinning cover, places known only to those who have walked this land for years. New holes are cut, the old tools brought to use again. The cold remains sharp, but in the brightening light spirits lift. The fish are fat from winter, rich in oil, a prize to be sought with care. At this time, children often accompany their elders, learning by doing. They watch how the holes are cut, how the lines are prepared, how the catch is handled. They hear the stories that rise with each fish pulled from the deep. Stories of past winters, of lessons learned, of the quiet gratitude that must attend every meal. And always respect guides the work. For among the Inuit, life is understood as a gift, not a right. Each fish, each berry, each scrap of seaweed carries the spirit of the land. To waste such gifts is unthinkable. To take too much is a danger not only to the land, but to the community's future. In summer, when ice gives way to open sea and the tundra blooms, foraging reaches its height. Families travel across the land, gathering the season's bounty. Berries are plucked from the low bush, their colors vivid against the green moss. Roots are dug from the soft earth. Seaweed is spread upon flat stones to dry beneath the endless sun. Work and joy mingle here. The children run ahead, laughing, their hands stained with berry juice. The elders move more slowly, remembering old paths, teaching names and uses. The sky is wide, the air fresh, the land generous, yet even now, discipline remains. Each family takes what it can use, no more, no less. Stores are prepared with care, berries mixed with oil, roots wrapped for storage, fish dried or frozen. For all know that winter waits once more. The bounty of summer must last through the dark months to come. And in every act, the casting of a line, the gathering of a berry, the bond between people and land is renewed. The Inuit do not see themselves as separate from this place. They are part of it, as the fish are part of the sea, as the berries are part of the earth. Their knowledge is born of long observation, of lessons taught by the land itself. Through the long arc of the seasons, this work shapes life. It provides not only food, but rhythm, meaning, connection. In the cold of winter, in the storms of spring, in the bright days of summer, the people fish and forage, honoring the land that sustains them. And so, beneath the ice, along the shore, across the tundra, life is gathered with patience, with gratitude, with a wisdom as enduring as the Arctic itself. Chapter 12. The drum dances, songs of joy, sorrow, and memory. Now let us return to the heart of the people, to the warmth of the gathering, to the pulse of the drum. For in every culture, song and dance serve as more than art. They carry memory, emotion, identity. And among the Inuit, where life is shaped by harsh lands and long dark seasons, the drum dance stands as one of the most cherished traditions, a celebration of life, a vessel for joy and sorrow, a bridge across generations. Imagine now a long winter night. Outside, the wind stirs the snow, cold pressing against the igloos. But within the communal hall, perhaps a large snow house or a modern community center, warmth gathers. Families arrive, dressed in their finest parkas, children in tow. The air is thick with anticipation. At the center stands the drummer, the heart of the gathering. In his hands, the frame drum, wide and shallow, its skin stretched tight, rim carved with care. The drummer begins to move, slow at first, circling the space. His arm raises, the drum held aloft, and with a firm stroke he strikes its edge with a bone or wooden stick. A deep, resonant sound fills the room, not sharp, but round, a tone that seems to flow through the bones. The beat begins to build, steady, insistent, a rhythm older than memory. Around this sound, voices rise, singers weaving ancient melodies, words shaped by countless tongues. The dancers step forward, sometimes alone, sometimes in pairs. Their movements are small, contained, shoulders swaying, feet shifting in time with the drum. This is not a dance of great leaps or displays, but of subtle grace, of deep feeling. The songs tell many tales. Some recount the deeds of hunters, a great whale taken, a seal caught after long pursuit. Others speak of love, joyful unions, bittersweet partings. Some are laments for those lost in the cold, for seasons of hunger. And some too are playful, teasing songs that bring laughter to the room. Each song is known by heart, its verses learned in childhood, its rhythms carried through life. There is no need for written music. The drum and the voice guide all. For the elders, the dance is memory, each beat recalling faces long gone, each step honoring those who came before. For the young, it is a lesson in language and history and the values of their people. For all, it is a moment of unity, of shared spirit. The drumbeat continues, steady and strong. It echoes the pulse of life itself, the rhythm of breath, of heart, of the land's own cycles. As the dancers move, as the singers call out each verse, the separation between past and present seems to fade. Through the long night, the dance may continue, song after song, beat upon beat. Rest is taken in turns. Food is shared, rich cuts of meat, steaming broth, small berries preserved from summer. Children drowse against their mothers, lulled by the steady rhythm. And when at last the dance slows, the final beat fading into silence, there's no sadness. The memory of the night lingers in tired feet, in smiling faces, in the warmth carried home through the snow. For in the drum dance, the people remember who they are, not merely individuals, but a living thread woven through time, bound to one another, to the land, to the spirits who watch unseen. In the seasons of plenty, when the hunts are successful and the stores are full, drum dances become celebrations of abundance. The songs ring out brighter, the movements more spirited. Dancers, young and old, step forward with pride, their faces alight with joy. The elders begin with traditional verses, long-remembered words of thanks to the land, to the sea, to the animals whose lives sustain the people. Younger voices soon join, adding new verses, new rhythms. In this way, the songs remain alive, changing with each generation while holding fast to their roots. Occasions for the drum dance vary. Some are held to mark important hunts, others to celebrate births or unions. Still, others arise simply to lift spirits during the darkest months, when the long night weighs heavy upon the heart. Whatever the reason, each dance strengthens the bonds of the community. Rivalries are set aside. Disputes are forgotten. In the circle of song and rhythm, all stand as one, sharing in the memory of the past and the promise of tomorrow. The making of a drum is an art of great care. The frame is carved from driftwood or bent willow, shaped into a perfect circle. The skin, often from walrus or caribou, is stretched with skill. Its surface tuned to produce the deep, rich tones that resonate through the dance. Each drum is unique, its voice shaped by the hands that made it, its spirit honored by those who play it. Among the most respected are the master drummers, those whose sense of rhythm, of timing, of the subtle needs of the dancers is unmatched. Their leadership guides the flow of the dance, their skill drawing the best from every participant. As the drum beats echo through the room, something deeper stirs. The rhythm speaks to more than the body. It touches the spirit, awakening a sense of connection to the land, to the ancestors, to the unseen forces that shape the world. In this moment, dancer and drummer, singer and listener are one, bound by the pulse of life that beats beneath all things. The drum dance is also a time for remembering those who have passed. Certain songs are sung in their honor, the verses recalling their deeds, their kindness, their strength. Tears may be shed, but they are not of sorrow alone. They are tears of gratitude, of remembrance, of love carried forward. Children play a special role in these gatherings. From their earliest years, they are brought to the dances, held in their mother's arms, rocked to sleep by the steady beat. As they grow, they join in the songs, first with soft voices, then with greater confidence. In time, they step into the circle, their small feet learning the steps that their ancestors once danced. And so the cycle continues. With each drum beat, each song, each dance, the thread of memory is strengthened, the identity of the people reaffirmed. Through joy and hardship alike, the drum dance endures, a living expression of who they are. As the final notes fade, the last echoes ringing softly in the ears of those gathered, the night draws to a close. Families step out into the cold once more, hearts warmed by their shared experience. The land awaits, the seasons will turn, but the spirit of the dance remains, alive in every step, in every voice, in every beat of the drum. And beneath the vast Arctic sky, the song continues, a quiet promise that as long as the people endure, so too will their stories, their dances, their spirit. Chapter 13. Shapeshifters and Shadows, Inuit Supernatural Beliefs. Now let us move quietly into the realm of shadow and mystery. For in every culture, stories arise to explain what cannot be seen, to give shape to the unknown, to caution and to comfort. Among the Inuit, whose lives are lived so close to the edge of survival, whose nights are long and whose lands vast and often empty, the world of the unseen is close, never far from thought. Spirits of land, sea, and sky move through the stories of the people. Some are benevolent, some mischievous, some dangerous. And among the most haunting of these tales are those of shapeshifters and shadow beings. Presences that dwell in the icy depths, beneath the snow, or in the unseen spaces of the world. One of the most well-known among these is the Kalupalut, being said to live beneath the sea ice. It is said that on quiet days, when the ice groans softly beneath a hunter's feet, one must listen closely. For the Kalupalut may call out, soft voices echoing through the ice, luring the unwary toward cracks and leads. Children are told never to wander alone, never to stray too far from camp. For the Kalupalut wait for those who do to seize them, to pull them down into the cold depths below. Some describe the Kalupalut as pale-skinned with long hair and sharp claws. Others say they appear as ordinary people until it is too late. The stories vary, but the warning is clear. Respect the sea ice. Stay close to your kin. Trust the old knowledge. Such stories serve many purposes. They protect, keeping children from danger. They teach, reminding all that the land and sea must never be taken lightly. They explain the unexplainable, those who vanish in the whiteness, never seen again. Beyond the Kalupalut, there are other tales of Inuit, shape-shifting beings who move swiftly across the tundra. They are said to take the forms of caribou or other animals, but their tracks do not match their shape. Skilled hunters know to watch for such signs, for to follow an Ijurak unawares is to risk becoming lost, turned about, wandering forever in the vastness of the land. Some speak of shadows moving where none should be, of strange lights seen beneath the ice, of whispers on the wind that carry no human voice. In the long months of darkness, when the sun does not rise and the mind wearies, such tales hold power. They remind all that there is more to the world than what the eyes can see. Yet not all spirits are feared. Many are honored, the souls of animals taken in the hunt, the spirits of ancestors who guide and protect. Offerings are made to these presences, a small piece of meat set aside, words of thanks whispered on the wind. Shamans, or Angakuk, walk closest to this world. Through trance, through dream, through the steady beat of the drum, they seek to understand the will of the spirits, to bring healing, to restore balance, to learn what lies beyond. Their knowledge is deep, their role vital. Children hear these stories from their earliest days. They are told at night, beside the flickering kullik, when the wind moans outside and the walls of the igloo glow softly. The tales seep into the heart, shaping caution, reverence, respect for the unseen. And so, across the white landscape of the Arctic, the shadows remain, sometimes feared, sometimes welcomed, always present. They remind the people that life here is never fully in their control, that humility before the forces of the land and sea is the path to harmony. Among these stories of the unseen, one thread runs clear. The deep respect the Inuit hold for the spirits of the animals upon which they depend. Each seal taken from the sea, each caribou hunted upon the land, each fish drawn from beneath the ice, all are believed to possess a spirit, a consciousness deserving of gratitude. Before a hunt, quiet words may be spoken, acknowledging the life that may soon be taken. Afterward, offerings are made. A small piece of liver returned to the sea for the seal. A caribou bone placed upon the tundra. A song sung in soft voice beneath the stars. These acts are not mere custom. They are woven into the fabric of life, a recognition that survival here is not a matter of conquest, but of relationship. To anger the spirits of the animals is to risk misfortune, poor hunts, illness, storms that will not pass. The stories tell of those who hunted greedily, wastefully, and of how the land grew silent, the animals scarce. They tell also of the hunter who showed respect, who took only what was needed, who offered thanks, and of how the land in turn provided. Even the land itself is seen as alive, its features shaped by ancient deeds. That distant ridge may mark the resting place of a great spirit. That lone stone upon the plain may be the frozen form of a being from the old stories. Travelers speak respectfully of such places, moving with care, leaving small offerings in passing. Dreams, too, are a bridge to the unseen. The Inuit pay close attention to dreams, their symbols, their messages. A dream of a white fox may foretell an unexpected journey. A dream of thin ice may warn of danger. The skilled listen well to such visions, shaping their choices by what the spirit world reveals. Shamans often walk this path most closely. Through ritual and trance, they seek guidance from the spirits, asking for aid in healing the sick, in restoring balance after discord, in understanding the cause of strange events. But such journeys are not without risk. The stories tell of shamans who returned changed, or who did not return at all, drawn too deep into the world beyond. The young are taught these stories gradually. In their earliest years, the warnings come first, the kalupilu beneath the ice, the Inuit upon the tundra. As they grow, the deeper meanings unfold, the lessons of respect, of humility, of the bonds that tie all life together. And so, as the wind sings across the land, as the stars wheel above, the people remember this world is not empty. It is filled with presences unseen, with forces that shape their days and nights. To live well here is to live in harmony with the land, with the sea, with the spirits both kind and fierce. For in the Arctic, where life balances upon the edge of cold and dark, such wisdom is not a thing apart. It is the breath of survival itself, woven into each step upon the snow, each stroke of the paddle, each word spoken beneath the endless sky. And beneath that sky, the shadows remain, sometimes close, sometimes distant, but always part of the world the Inuit call home. Chapter 14. Surviving the Modern World, Inuit Life Today. Now let us turn our gaze to the present. To the Inuit world of today, shaped by both the deep past and the shifting tides of modern life. For though the land remains vast, cold, beautiful, the rhythms of Inuit life have changed. New tools, new technologies, new ways of understanding the world have come. Yet beneath these changes, the ancient knowledge endures, guiding, anchoring, giving meaning still. In many communities across the Arctic, modern homes now stand where snow houses once rose. Metal stoves warm the rooms, electric lights glow through long nights. Snowmobiles have replaced sled dogs for many journeys. Rifles have joined the harpoon. The world beyond, carried by radio, by internet, by plane, is closer than ever before. Children attend schools, learning both in their own tongue and in the language of the South. They study math and science, but also the old stories, the ways of the land. Elders teach alongside teachers, sharing the wisdom that books alone cannot hold. In the towns, stores offer foods from far away, flour, sugar, canned goods. Yet still, families hunt and fish, gathering seal, char, berries. The taste of the land remains on every table. New challenges come with these changes. The cost of living is high. Store-bought goods expensive, sometimes unreliable. Climate change shifts the ice. Hunting routes once known now altered. Sea ice thinning in places that were once strong. Storms grow fiercer, less predictable. The knowledge of the elders, once certain, must adapt. And so a new balance is sought. The old ways, tested by time, are blended with the tools of today. Hunters carry GPS alongside traditional maps held in the mind. Boats of aluminum ply waters once traveled by skin-covered craft. But beneath these tools, the heart of the Inuit way remains. Respect for the land, for the animals, for the rhythms of life in the Arctic. Language is one thread that holds this life together. Across many dialects, Inuktitut remains strong, spoken in homes, sung in lullabies, chanted in the old songs. It is through language that much of the old knowledge survives, carried from elder to child in words shaped by snow and ice. The arts, too, flourish. Carvings of bone and stone, intricate beadwork, throat singing. These are not relics, but living practices. They tell stories both old and new, giving voice to the enduring spirit of the people. Communities gather for drum dances still, for feasts of the whale, for the shared joy of life in the north. Elders speak of their childhoods, of igloos and dog teams, of the first white men they saw. The young listen, recording these tales on phones, sharing them across the world. And so the past meets the present, not in conflict, but in conversation. The old ways do not vanish. They shift, they endure, they shape the path forward. For in this land of cold and light, of shadow and story, the Inuit people remain resilient, proud, bound to the land, shaping the modern world on their own terms. For in the Arctic, where life balances upon the edge of cold and dark, such wisdom is not a thing apart. It is the breath of survival itself, woven into each step upon the snow, each stroke of the paddle, each word spoken beneath the endless sky. And beneath that sky, the shadows remain, sometimes close, sometimes distant, but always part of the world the Inuit call home. The challenges of the modern world are many, yet so too are the strengths drawn from deep tradition. Across the Arctic, Inuit voices rise to meet these challenges, to ensure that their culture not only survives, but thrives. One of the greatest concerns is the changing climate. The elders speak of how the ice has changed, how roots once safe now break too early, how animals migrate differently, how storms sweep in with new force. Hunters adapt, learning from both old wisdom and modern tools, but the risks are real. Still, with resilience, they meet this shifting world, watching, learning, teaching the young that flexibility too is part of survival. In governance, Inuit leaders take active roles. Across Canada, Alaska, Greenland, and beyond, Inuit organizations work to preserve language, protect the land, promote health and education. They engage with governments and scientists, ensuring that Inuit knowledge is heard, respected, and included in decisions that shape their future. The revival of language is a proud movement. Schools now teach Inuktitut alongside other subjects. Storytellers visit classrooms, singers perform at festivals, writers and filmmakers bring Inuit stories to a wider world. Language binds the people to their past and to each other, carrying the heart of their culture forward. In art, too, the Inuit excel. Carvings of soapstone, antler, and bone continue to speak of life on the land, of the hunt, of the spirits, of the animals that share their world. New forms emerge as well. Graphic novels, films, digital art, blending tradition with innovation. Through these works, Inuit voices reach across the Arctic and beyond, reminding all who see them that this is a living culture, not a frozen one. Community remains at the heart of it all. In towns from Nunavut to Greenland, from Alaska to Labrador, the old gatherings continue. Drum dances echo in modern halls. Feasts mark the arrival of the whale or the caribou. Children play beneath the endless summer sun or in the pale light of winter, their laughter bridging generations. The elders guide with gentle wisdom, reminding the young of the values that have shaped their people. Respect for nature, for each other, for the unseen forces of the world. These teachings remain as vital now as in the days of igloos and harpoons. Modernity brings temptations as well. Fast foods, television, the distractions of distant cultures. But here too, resilience shows. Many young Inuit embrace both worlds, carrying smartphones while learning to hunt, speaking multiple languages while singing the old songs. They are the bridge between past and future, shaping what it means to be Inuit in the 21st century. And so the people endure. The land may change, but the heart remains strong. In every story told beside a modern stove, in every child who learns to shape a harpoon or follow a trail, in every song that echoes across the snow, the spirit of the Inuit lives on. Beneath the vast sky in the land of ice and shadow, of story and song, the old ways walk beside the new, and the journey continues. Thank you for joining me on this quiet journey through Arctic life and story. If you enjoyed this video, please do leave a comment, give it a like, and share it with a friend. And if you'd like more calm history to drift off to, be sure to subscribe to The Drowsy Historian. Until next time, sleep well and dream of distant lands.